What is up, everybody? So, I wanted to get different perspective on, what's really going on with the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, which is also, you can call it also Doctor Strange 2. Because, I normally, I like to kind of just go with the flow and watch the movie myself and kind of make my own conclusion on what's really going on with this movie. But also, I like to get different perspective on what they think, especially those hard geek Marvel, super Marvel fans. Because they have a really good idea, like a good perspective on what do they think is gonna happen. And especially if they dug the research and they read comic books, and I mean they're really into it. You know what I mean? So we're gonna check this guy out. This guy's channel name is The Cosmic Wonder, and he's talking about the Doctor Strange 2 new trailer breakdown, CHTHON reveal, Multiverse of Madness. So I'm thinking he's gonna talk about, this big guy, monster, Clifton, and or CHTHON. Correct me, excuse my, my pronunciation. Um, and he's probably gonna talk about. He's also breaking down Doctor Strange 2, the new trailer, which came out a couple weeks ago. Eventually, I'm sure he's gonna talk about the other trailer that just came out, which was the Dream trailer. Eventually, but I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Plus, I heard some good reviews. I heard some good reviews on this guy. So, before we check him out, don't forget to subscribe for more videos, whether it's reaction videos, try not to laugh challenges, or any other video for that matter. Make sure you guys click on the notification bell so that way you guys can get more upcoming videos in the near future. Now, let's see what this guy has to say. I'm sure it's going to be some interesting perspective.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU. I'm your host, Warren Thompson, and yesterday, Marvel Studios gave us a new look at Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness that has a lot of new footage in it. Specifically, one very interesting scene where it looks like they have revealed the ancient evil elder god Cthulhu.
Cthulhu, that's what it is. Okay.
Being spotted in this trailer, if you look at the full scale
couldn't exactly pronounce it correctly, so I don't know.
Because Cthulhu has a lot of connections to Wanda, very specifically Chaos Magic and the Darkhold. He created the Darkhold, which is going to be a pretty big part of Multiverse of Madness. So we're going to break it all down and tell you everything you need to know in this video. And of course, if you're new, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel news. Alright, now, this new TV trailer spot actually has quite a bit of new footage in it. And it's quite a big deal, and it's kind of causing quite a bit of controversy online right now about what is actually happening in one very specific scene. Now, there are actually 3 scenes that I want to break down in this video today, but let's talk about this main scene that could have Cthulhu in it. Now, I posted some stuff on Instagram and on Twitter about Cthulhu, and I saw a lot of people actually asking me who he is. And he's very, very important and has a huge connection to specifically Wanda Maximoff and her chaos magic. So, let me explain who he is. So, billions of years ago, right after the Earth was formed, the Demiurge, which was the sentient life force of Earth, created the Elder Gods, one of which was Cthulhu. Now, at first, these gods were all good. They ruled the world together, and it was peaceful for the most part. And they ruled it peacefully for about 1 million years, and during this time, Cthulhu spent a lot of time studying the mystical forces and the mystical arts of the universe, and eventually he became the Earth's first black magician. So he became pretty powerful, but then the Elder Gods kind of started to turn into demons. They became bad and started to go at war with each other. Well, one of the Elder Gods who had not yet corrupted into a demon, Gaia, went to the Demiurge and asked for a way to stop all these other Elder Gods because she feared for the life of the universe and all the new life that would eventually come. Well, she entered the center of the earth and then she gave birth to a tomb, also known as the Egyptian god Amun-Ra, the god of the sun, which I'm sure we might actually see pop up in Moon Knight. So keep an eye on that. But Amun-Ra / Tomb went on to be known as the God Eater because he went around and started killing these evil elder gods. Well, Cthulhu managed to flee and escape by creating another dimension, known as the Flickering Realms, or sometimes known as the Other Realm. However, before he left on Wundagore Mountain, Cthulhu put all of his knowledge about the mystical arts, about black magic, about magic in general, he put all of that on parchment that was indestructible, and he created the Darkhold. Some of you may know this book because it was the book that we saw in WandaVision. This is the book that Wanda is studying in the cabin in the post-credit scene for WandaVision. And this book is probably causing a good majority of the trouble in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness because, as you'll go to find out, it's pretty corrupt and is probably corrupting Wanda, which is something that I think we see in a scene here. I think Wanda is tricking Wong, but we'll get right to that after the finish of the story. So Cthulhu created the Darkhold, and he
I say that I feel like Wanda was the bad girl.
Should he ever choose to return? Now, a lot ends up happening between this time and the time where he runs into Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch. The Darkhold's pages get scattered, then they get put back together, then Cthulhu gets banished. A lot happens, but here's where Wanda Maximoff comes in. The High Evolutionary would go on to build his citadel on Mount Wundagore. Now, the High Evolutionary was warned that Cthulhu might actually return, and then he did. However, the High Evolutionary, doing experiments on animals, evolving them into almost humans, calling them new men, managed to drive back Cthulhu. However, right before he left the world, he reached out and he touched an infant who was being born, and that infant was Wanda Maximoff. The High Evolutionary had taken Wanda and Petro Maximoff to do experiments on them, and then would later on go on to return them to their actual Maximoff parents. But Cthulhu touched Wanda, marking her as a potential vessel for the future for him to return in, and he also granted her some dark magic. Chaos magic. And eventually somebody known as Mordred.
So he's actually behind all her powers.
And performed a ritual allowing Cthulhu to actually use her body as a vessel on Earth, and he did, and he went up against the Avengers. But of course he was eventually defeated. But you can see how big of a connection here Cthulhu and the Darkhold have to the Scarlet Witch. And the last time we saw Wanda, she was studying the Darkhold, and we've seen the Darkhold in the trailers for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So, here's the question.
I didn't know he was behind all the Wanda's powers though. I didn't know that.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Are they Cthulhu? Yes, I realize there are two of them, but hey, it's a multiverse movie. There are variants. There could be two, or this could simply be some type of magic that Cthulhu is performing to duplicate himself. Remember, he spent 1,000,000 years studying the mystic arts. He knows
so it seems like
now, one thing that is in the scene is it actually looks like Wong and the Scarlet Witch are fighting with each other, not against each other, and it looks like they're also fighting with these two monsters, all seemingly being on the same team. However, I do believe this is some form of Cthulhu because it looks just like he looks like in the comics. So either they're putting a little twist on him, or he somehow managed to duplicate himself. But addressing all of these characters together, I don't think that's the case. There are a few explanations that we can think of as to what is actually happening here. One is that Cthulhu could have actually managed to multiply himself, and Wong and the Scarlet Witch are indeed fighting them, but they turn around to see others behind them and they're kind of surrounded. That could be one instance. Two, they could all be fighting a much greater threat, and that could be the evil Wanda. It seems pretty clear at this point that Wanda, or at least a variant of her or a version of her, is going to be the main villain of this film. And it looks like she's going to threaten the entire
everybody kind of figured that out.
These characters right here, including a variant of the Scarlet Witch, could be fighting her together. But what I actually think is
because of her power. Here, not her, Wanda, the person, is her power.
We've literally seen Wong being tortured by the Scarlet Witch in some of the trailers. She's not going to be good. And I'm guessing that these monsters, who I do think is Cthulhu, aren't going to be good either. I think she has summoned them somehow, or Cthulhu is actually controlling Wanda at this point, and that's why she's evil. So I think this scene right here could be where Wong actually gets captured. I don't think he's fighting the fight that he thinks he is. And I hope he doesn't die, but let me know what you think. Now, like I said, there are two other scenes that I want to talk about. The first one is in kind of the beginning, where Doctor Strange goes and finds Wanda and says, we could use an Avenger. Now, I like this a lot because obviously it's a reference to the Avengers, but I actually really think that this movie is going to end with Wanda sort of destroying the universe that we know, which could be a really smart move by Marvel, because if you're trying to keep things fresh and kind of make it different than the first 10 years of the MCU, what better way to do that than to kind of rewrite the universe a little bit? But it's funny because Wanda says there are other Avengers, and Doctor Strange says, we'll get you back in a lunchbox, which shows you that in this universe, on Earth, the Avengers are indeed superheroes, and people love them, and they do sell merchandising. Which kind of makes you wonder who gets the money for that, because Sam Wilson in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was broke. So I'm wondering who gets the money for that. But the next scene is a blink and you'll miss it scene of Wanda. She's in her full Scarlet Witch uniform, and if you take a look at the background, it looks like she's probably at the Carmitage. And as sad as it sounds, I think this is most likely her attacking the Carmitage. We've seen the Carmitage get attacked in several of the trailers and TV spots by now. We've seen all of the sorcerers prepare for battle. And like I said, we've seen Wong kind of in shackles, but the shackles are made up of Wanda's chaos magic. So Wanda is coming and is going to be pretty bad in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but what is behind this? Is she being possessed by C'THON? Is the Darkhold corrupting her? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest MCU news. For live updates, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And as always, thank you all so much.
Cosmic Wonder, I have just subscribed to your channel, sir. You made some really good point, because your point is very similar to mine. It's very similar.
Watching Woof Woof.
Okay, so here's my take, right? He has very similar perspective, like I do, and he has the similar shit that I say, because I also think that Wanda is also a bad girl, not because of her as a person, but because of her powers. And I didn't know that it was damn it, I think I almost forgot to pronounce the villain's guy's name. Is it CHTHON? CHTHON, there you go. CHTHON. I do believe that he is behind all her powers. Like, I think, to me, like, especially if he's like, seems like he's gonna be like the main villain. Although Wanda is the villain, it seems like he's gonna be the one manipulating her, because you know, the book, if you remember the book of the WandaVision that she was reading, kind of symbols of what, of who CHTHON is, if that makes any sense. Like it seems like he's the main, he's the main reason why Wanda has these type of powers. It's just, man, I really have a good feeling this movie is gonna be really, really dark. And I'm really, really pumped about this. I already got like I said before, I got my ticket to go see this movie. I am really, really interested. So that's what I think. I think he's gonna be the main villain. Wanda's gonna be the main villain also, but she's more like a puppet string for CHTHON, because he's more, that's what it seems like. It seems like he's more of a manipulator than Wanda. That's what it seems like. It could be the other way around, where Wanda's actually, she tried to find a way to manipulate her powers and kind of use it against him. That can also happen as well. And it seems like Doctor Strange is trying to figure it out of how to stop CHTHON. That's what it also seems like. It seems like he's trying to help her out in some sort of faction. Yeah. And I hope, what's this guy's name? Juan? Some people say that he might die in this movie. I hope not, because he's a funny dude. But it seems like also, CHTHON also has the mindset, Juan's mindset as well, to use it against Doctor Strange as well. I could be wrong. That could be wrong. Listen, we will never know until we see this movie. All we see right now is speculation. But what he said, the Cosmic Wonder guy, he made some really good points. So you know what? When he does the breakdown to the other Doctor Strange movie, with the other Doctor Strange trailer, which was the Dream trailer, be on the lookout, because I am going to check this video out, because he has really good, he makes some really good points. He really does. So I'm really digging it. Maybe I'll look at other others' perspective as well, but he has kind of like the similar vision of where I'm going, depending on certain movies. So, what do you guys think is going to happen in the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, do you guys think that CHTHON is the one that's going to be pulling the puppet strings on Wanda? Do you think he's going to be the one manipulating Wanda into doing some villain stuff? I think so. I think he's the one, especially if he's behind through all that books. You know what I mean? That's what I think. So, put that on the comments below. Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, you go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And remember, I'm going to be doing my movie review on this movie, on Thursday when it comes out, which is May 6th. So you might get it probably around maybe 11, 12 o'clock-ish. So just be alert, because it's going to be probably around nighttime. Around nighttime, almost midnight. So, alright guys, well, until next time, peace out.